3, 2, 1. There we go. Basically 5 o'clock. You made it to the end of the workday. Now it's time to pop open a dram. And what better dram to pour yourself to celebrate the end of a long, hard work week than one of the best ones that you can ever get. Balvenie 12 Doublewood. This bottle, this brand for sure, belongs on the Mount Rushmore as far as I'm concerned of scotches. I just love everything that they have to offer. But this bottle, I don't think it's their best bottle, but it's definitely one of the best intro bottles that you can get. The 12 Doublewood is such a fantastic entry point of a scotch. It very well could be deserving of a place out on the Mount Rushmore of scotches. I mean, I wouldn't, if your Mount Rushmores are your favorite and what you think are the best of the best, I mean, yeah, I guess you're not gonna pick this one. But as for staples that belong in a library of one's whiskey collection, this one definitely belongs there. And I definitely find that over the years, I have come back to Balvenie more and more, especially more so over than the Macallan over the years. I just find Balvenie brings so much more to the table than a Macallan, and it's less of a price. So this bottle is almost ready to finish its journey here. So I figured, you know, it's Friday, work week is over. What better way to make room in the collection than finishing off an old favorite? So the Doublewood, if you don't know, it's matured in 2 distinct casks, aged for 12 years. It is aged, well, I'll just read it off the back what it says first. Nowhere else will you find a distillery that still grows its own barley, that still malts in its own traditional floor maltings, that still has coppers to tend the casks and a coppersmith to tend the stills. So this one here, I do have the tube. So its first cask is whiskey oak, and the second cask is sherry oak. Many years of maturation in traditional whiskey casks mellows the maturing spirit and imparts warming layers of vanilla spiciness. The second cask is sherry oak. Further maturation in European oak sherry casks increases complexity, bringing fruity honey depths to the resulting single malt. And this is, I bought this a couple years ago. So this one still has the David Stewart signature, although now, as you probably know, they have a new malt master, and David Stewart is enjoying his retirement, which he has duly earned. Some of the notes on this one, the master of malt. On the nose, I guess I should probably pour it first actually. Let's see if just like the Dalmores, if I estimated this one correctly. And this is just a great bottle by shape. It's like a classic. If you think of like what a classic Scotch bottle should be, it should be this. And actually, the Balvenie is, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's the first ever single malt Scotch that I ever had. I had the Founders Reserve 10, which was actually my parents' bottle. It was given to them as an anniversary gift by a dear friend of theirs. And I remember when I was just starting to, I think I was had just turned 18 or whatever, and I was wondering about Scotch, and my dad isn't a big Scotch drinker, but my mom likes it. And she said that they had some. She's like, here, you can try some of this. And I actually have that bottle and tube saved in a safe place right now. It's kept it. I am actually the one that finished that bottle with that last little bit years and years ago that they have. And instead of throwing it out, I decided to keep it. And then that was kind of the thing that sent me on my way onto the journey. This is the brand that basically kind of got me into Scotch. It was this and Macallan. But just over the years, I've come back to this one more and more than the Macallan for various reasons I have mentioned over time on this channel. So on the nose, supple nuttiness intertwined with spices, honeyed sultanas and grapes, hugely inviting. And then another website, the Whiskey Exchange, says chocolatey and raspberry aromas rich brioche and stewed cherries. Definitely get some cherries in there for sure. A little bit of grapes. Very little spice, at least for me, just a little bit. One of the things I love about this whiskey is it's everything you want in a good whiskey. Like it's so well balanced, it's so well priced. It's exactly what you want it to be. The Doublewood gives it a nice complexity, but yet normalness to it, but not like a boring type of Scotch flavor, you know, like a Johnny Walker Black would, or something that's just like super pedestrian and like something like a bar Scotch. This is something that's a little bit elevated, but still it's not super obnoxious, and you don't feel bad giving it to people who maybe, for lack of a better term, aren't worthy of something good because they have no idea what they'd be drinking or what they'd be experiencing. And it's just a great bottle for you to, even if you have something to do. Like I renovated a whole upper floor of a house over a couple months drinking one of these from beginning to finish, killed that whole bottle. And I think about 3 months just while renovating a house. So that was probably adds to the good memories I have of this bottle. So let's get into it. Let's see what some of the palettes are here. See if we can discern what the websites are saying, pick out something else. Skull. I definitely agree with the Master of Malt, the first couple words, sweet with good body. It talks about bourbon characteristics develop. You can get just a hint of that bourbon characteristic that's there. It goes on to say gentle spice with a little vanilla, a hint of balancing peat. I don't really get much or any peat lurking quietly in the background there. I do get that just gentle spice for sure with the bourbon characteristics, which is really nice. Like it's really well-rounded, well-balanced. Combining with nuts, nutmeg, cinnamon, and then back into the bourbon notes, it says so well integrated. I definitely agree with that. It is very well integrated. I get a little bit of the nuts there, maybe a little bit of cashew mixed with cinnamon. Maybe a little bit of caramel. The other site, the Whiskey Exchange, cherries and raspberries combined with sponge cake, spicy cinnamon, and black pepper. I'm getting a little bit of that pepper, back how the other site was saying about the gentle spice. I'm not really getting any berries, nothing at all to me, no raspberries. I know I get the cherry on the nose, but I'm not really getting any berries or cherries on the palate. The finish, sweet, spice, red fruit, rich sponge cake. And then also spicy, slightly drying, still sweet. I'm getting the drying and the sweetness. Not so much the sponge cake. To me, it doesn't have enough of the finishing in like port casks or other type of wine casks and Madeira casks or anything like that. I know it's a sherry oak, but I'm not getting, like, don't think of this as being a sherry bomb. It's definitely not. There's very little sherry in there. It's just like a nice finishing that mellows out the whiskey, the whiskey oak, in like the traditional, where it spends more of its time in the oak there instead of the sherry. And this bottle also wins or has won a ton of awards, like a ton of awards. Distiller single malts 12 years and under, Speyside single malts up to 12 years. The list goes on and on. They don't even all fit on the notes and on the screen there, but like I said before, this is just such a great bottle where if you want something good, but you don't want to have to think about it, and you want something just a little bit more expensive than something like one of the Irish ones I've talked about, they're such a great go-to bottle, like the Bushmills or the Teeling. But you want a Scotch, but something that's better than like a Johnny Walker, like go with one of these. And it's not like the Caribbean casks, the 14, which is starting to get way more expensive than it should be. This is still somewhat reasonable. Like when I mentioned when I was renovating that house, I remember I bought that bottle. I think it was, I want to say it was only like $55 for that bottle, Canadian. And that would have been 10 years ago, actually, now that I think about it. It would have been really early 2014. So now I think this bottle is basically double or slightly double. I think it's just over $100 now. I kind of don't think it should be. Like, I mean, it's good. I don't have a problem per se spending that. I mean, maybe I do a little bit because I know what it used to be and what I used to buy it for, but it was a steal back then. I would say anything more than, you know, around a little over $100, it's not like, it's good, but it kind of pains me to pay that. Even though I know it's good and it's an enjoyable bottle, I would rather almost go for something like an Irish or something where I can get 2 bottles for that price, or really good, like, hence something coming up, the Rushmore makes an unbelievable Irish whiskey for a lot less than that. And it tastes, in a way, almost, I might even say almost better than this. But that'll be coming up. That's coming up soon. But yeah, I mean, for what this is, for around the $100 mark, I still think it's worth it. I still think you'll find happiness in it. You'll still like it. You'll still find it worthwhile. Now that it's oxidized a little bit, I'm getting a little bit of dried fruits. Like, I'm getting a little bit of apricot on the nose, which I know neither of those sites listed. And I know it's like kind of a lot far off from raspberry and chocolate or cherry, but yeah, I'm kind of getting like apricot with honey. I guess that's kind of the honeyed sultanas in there. Still no stewed cherries at all, but very good. Very, very good. Well, I've taken enough time of yours for this episode. So I'm gonna enjoy this, I'm gonna finish it. And then since it's Friday, I'm gonna have to find something else to crack. I'll have some new videos coming up. Maybe some new bottles cracked on camera, we'll see. But enjoy the rest of your day, whether it be Friday or weekend or Tuesday, whenever you may be watching this. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're not too far away from your next dram, and you can enjoy it in some nice peace and tranquility. So all the best to you. Thanks for checking out this video, and we'll see you in the next one.